Hello, my name is Lauren Jones, and I am a behavior resource teacher.
And I'm Christy Barnes, and I'm also a behavior resource teacher.
And today we're going to talk to you about using behavioral momentum with your child. I'm going to share my screen with you so that we can begin. Moving forward toward success, behavioral momentum.
Our goals for today are we are going to learn how to define behavioral momentum. We are also going to identify the steps for implementation and also to identify situations where you would utilize these steps.
So what is behavioral momentum? Behavioral momentum is a strategy that is used to build a student's momentum for following directions. It includes making easy requests before making requests that are more difficult.
Why is it important? Well, these strategies will increase your child's motivation and provide much more opportunities for success. Your children will experience less frustration as they are successful with these easier tasks. This makes it more likely for them to try more difficult tasks.
When should we use behavioral momentum? When we want to increase motivation, when we want to regain attention, prior to any difficult behavior or task, when teaching a new skill. It's important to remember that behavioral momentum can be used with any behaviors and in any situation.
So, what is a high probability request? This is a task or request that your child can do with very little effort. Think about some things that are easy for your child to do. Maybe put some things into another thing or do a puzzle. High probability requests vary with every child. We also call this a high P request, and you'll be seeing this throughout our presentation.
So now let's talk about the opposite, a low probability request. This is a task or request that your child has to use more effort to complete. Think about some things that are harder for your child to do. Just like with the other, low probability requests will vary from child to child. What might be a hard task for one child may be a little bit easier for another. These requests are called low P requests. So remember, low P requests are tasks or requests that use more effort from your child.
Now we're going to talk about how to give a demand. So I want you to remember that a request is also called a demand. Some things to remember are demands are stated, not asked. What happens many times when we ask our children a question, they're going to say no. And you should sit close to your child and obtain eye contact if you can, so that we know that they are listening to you. You also want to wait until you have your child's attention, because if they're not paying attention to you, they are not listening. You also want to use clear and specific language, not too much talking. And you want to use a matter-of-fact tone of voice. You don't want to yell, but you want to make sure that it's just a matter of fact.
Great points, Christy. So now let's talk about the steps involved in using behavioral momentum. Step 1. First, you want to identify those easy and difficult tasks for your child. Remember, easy, high P, and difficult, low P. The high probability tasks should be tasks that your child already knows how to do. They're easy, simple, quick for your child. The low probability tasks you choose are the ones that are harder. So this would be the one you're choosing to build that momentum for.
Step 2 is you want to present 3 to 5 easy requests in a row. And what's very important is that you want to give verbal praise immediately after each request is followed. So here are some examples. You tell your children, clap your hands, and when they do it right away, you say, great job. Then you can ask them, how old are you? And as soon as they answer, you say, super. And you can also say, touch your nose, and when they do it, you can say fantastic.
So once we've given those 3 to 5 easy requests, we're going to present the more difficult request. In this step, it's so important to provide wait time for your child to respond. Remember, this is the task that's more difficult for them, so it may take them a moment or two to start trying. Immediately reinforce your child with a bigger or better reward. What do we mean by this? Well, with the easy request, we're just giving that verbal praise, saying, great job, you did it. Now we're asking them to do something harder. So we're going to have to give a little bit more than just verbal praise. Some examples might be tangible things they can hold, like a toy or maybe a snack, or we can give them time with something they really like playing on a video game. So the example here, ask them to do those 3 easy tasks that Christy reviewed. Clap your hands, how old are you, and touch your nose. Then the more difficult task, pick up your toys. Once they've done it, we're giving that immediate, bigger, and better reward. Awesome. Now you can go watch a video.
Step 4 is you are to continue these steps, but you want to change the number of easy requests before you tell them to do a harder one. You don't want to keep doing the same thing. You want to change it up because you know that they're going to try to manipulate. So you can say, stand up, great job. Tell them, jump up and down, super. Now we only did 2 here, didn't we? And for a harder request, we can say, put your garbage in the trash can. Fabulous. Now you can play with your toys. See how that changed a little?
So now we're going to watch an example of that high P and low P request and using behavioral momentum.
Show me your nose. Show me your mouth. Stick out your tongue. What letter? U. U. Good job. Your cheeks. What's your name? Good job. What letter? Good try. U. U. Good job. What letter? U. Very nice. Tip your shoulders. Clap your hands. What letter? U. You got it, girlfriend.
That was a great example of using that behavioral momentum. Now, when you're teaching a new skill, you might want to repeat this sequence with the same harder request. So in the video, she was learning to identify the letter U. Since it was a new skill, the request sequence was repeated more than 1 time. If your child makes a mistake, correct them immediately and present that same request again. It's important that your child has positive practice and time to practice the skill doing it the right way.
Those are such excellent points. Now, what happens if your child does not comply? And this may happen. First of all, don't get upset. You may need to restart the sequence again. The important thing here is that you want to reinforce immediately for compliance. You also may want to remind them of what they are working for. So you want to have those reinforcers nearby so that you can remind them what they are working for.
We want to wrap it up with the quote that we found. People who succeed have momentum. The more they succeed, the more they want to succeed. We want you to think about your child in this example. When your child is feeling successful, they will want to do more. They will get that momentum and continue to succeed at other tasks.
If you need more assistance with behavior, first of all, reach out to your child's teacher and say that you need some help. They will reach out to district staff like Lauren and myself or someone else on the behavior group, and the district staff and or your child's teacher will connect with you to set up a time to meet on a virtual platform or via phone. Thank you so much for joining us. I hope you enjoyed it.